Hello, everybody, and welcome back for another day of Farlandiversary. Another commentary today. I just kind of felt in the mood for a bit of talking and nonsense and whatnot, everything Journey comes to offer. Of course, the last episode, I lost I think a third of my inventory, and all the sand in my inventory had compounded into 111 sand, which I found to be pretty funny, but that glitch didn't really stick around very long. That was kind of a summary for the last episode. That was all because of a power outage that happened that cut off a stream the other day. It's been a bit of an interesting last few days. I mean, an interesting, Farlandiversary in general, because not only have I found the world's spawn chunks, I also, had a power outage and actually saw a bit of a technical issues kind of come up because of it, which had never happened before. I think I'd had my internet cut out before. It cuts out all the time, actually. That's why I have the episodes being split into 2 parts, 3 parts sometimes even. But it is what it is, I guess. I've just been putting up with it. And it's not really too bad anyway. I'm not too worried about it. It doesn't actually impact the streams. At least the quality or anything, which at least I've got that down. That's all I'm really happy about at this point. But yeah, I'm back in the journey. Well into 7 million now. Yesterday, was it yesterday? Oh, I guess it was over the course of 2 streams. Yesterday's stream was, that was a different one to the 111 sound one. So that was 2 episodes ago now. And 3 episodes since the power outage. But yeah, last episode was pretty normal. I was just going through a bunch of my materials in my inventory from, I guess, just gathering a bunch of things. I think from the outpost, or not the outpost, the monument. Well, yes. Got so many words I use now for these things. I gotta try and remember. But it's a lovely night. I don't feel I'm doing pretty good. Don't feel too bad. I've got plenty of water tonight, so we're in for a good night of streaming and commentary, hopefully. Good amount of progress. But yes. Yeah, and I was right about 6 to 7 million being 93 days. That was exact because I did reach 7 million even even if I didn't make it very far past it in that episode or on that day. But that's pretty good. That's the second most productive million or to date, apart from the first million. So good job, me. I mean, it was almost like 50% longer than the first million, but I haven't done that good. I haven't done 1,045 days. Of course, I haven't done anything close to that since then. I think just because of the hype and the time, I just was really excited by it. And though I still am excited, it's more of this kind of mundane excitement. It kind of has plateaued, and well, I do get ambition to do long streams, and of course I've done really long episodes lately. At least in like the last few weeks. It's, it kind of comes and goes. It's not like how it used to be for sure. And that's kind of what I expected going into this world, was that, I mean, I didn't expect myself to make it anywhere close to 7 million, but but if I did, I definitely would have expected things to kind of, level out. And they did a long time ago, and they've just been kind of going about the same no matter what. Kind of gets worse and has its better points, but oh well, something something that's so impactful as this world, or at least I don't think there's really been any world on Minecraft that's been this impactful for me. Maybe Newcraft. I mean, I put a lot of work into that series. That's probably one of my favorites. Definitely. Like, it could even beat Journey, a lot of its moments. Because, you know, Journey's just myself. And it's just me, myself, and I here in Journey, though. So, being able to do stuff with other people, oh, there's nothing like it, honestly. Like, yeah, doing stuff on your own is really cool. But being able to do it with your friends and, you know, people you get along with, that's what's really great. I've, you know, Newcraft's taken a bit of a backseat for me lately, and I think I'm just out of tune with it. Mainly, I guess, because I don't. It's hard to really pinpoint exactly why Newcraft is kind of a mystery for me now. It's not really anything I kind of blamed it on before. I think it's more or less just the fact that I was really motivated going into season 2 of the SMP, and then Journey kind of came in and boom, with the Outpost 5, and then soon after that, Farlandiversary. So it's been a slippery slope for Newcraft. I think the last probably 2 months, I'd say. Now that it has been at least 2 months since the beginning of the world, or even more than that now. No, it's 2 months. Jeez, time flies. Honestly, I couldn't even remember if it was been 2 or 3 months or, you know, that kind of thing, but no, 2 months. And that was kind of, I mean, I played for the first little while, the first few days, the first week, and then Journey kind of came in with the Outpost, and then I kind of was still playing Newcraft a little bit here and there, working on projects. And then by the time Farlandiversary hit, and then my vacations and all this stuff and work got busy, it just slipped by the wayside. And I'm looking forward to returning to it. But I'm just gonna wait to return to it till I feel like I've got a solid idea of what I want to do. And I feel motivated and I want to do it, kind of thing. Because I don't really feel much of that, like, when I think about it right now. But I definitely do enjoy being able to be on a world with other folks. It's really cool. But Journey's not bad either. There's a reason why it's been such a huge thing recently. Especially. But, I mean, through the last 2 years. Nearing very close to the 2-year anniversary, actually. It'll be within, I think, next week. I believe next week, yeah, because it's Saturday today. So it'll be sometime next week, kind of late. I think Friday or Saturday. It will be the 2-year anniversary of Journey to the Farlands. Which, it is very odd just to think that I've spent so much time in a world, and I feel like I've gotten so much yet so little done. But I mean so much, because I am over 50%. That's wicked. It's no getting to the Farlands in 2 years, but you know, I'm still headed that way. I haven't given up, and it's not like things have, you know, changed super crazily. I mean, they've only really changed for the better. Like a year ago, things were a lot less consistent. Even, I mean, I guess even the boot early this year was kind of all over the place, but I kind of reined it in a little bit in July, which I wasn't really able to do last year. I tried to, but I looked at all like the gaps and stuff, and it was just, the progress was there in the episodes, but it just felt so scattered. So that's kind of what I try to do. I'm keeping to what I want to do. I mean, like I say, oh yeah, I'll do it when I want to do it. And that's true, because pretty much any time I play on this world, I want to do it, because really the more I play in this world, the more I get to enjoy the splendor of it all. And get closer to the Farlands, of course, all that jazz. But it really is the journey that'll tell the story. The destination will be, you know, leagues away. but it'll be cool. Every piece of this journey is cool in its own right. You know, the parts where I was looking forward to the Farlands and then the parts where I was at the Farlands. It's all kind of the same story, just in different parts. But let's get this bed placed. Very retrospective, this episode. I guess it's just because I haven't really realized quite how crazy it is. 2 years. Because usually a lot of stuff only goes on for 1 year or whatever. I'm not the kind of person that has like a 5-year world or a 10-year world, or you know, that kind of, or even just projects in gaming in general. I have not been consistent in that effort. So to see that something I've done has even made it to 2 years is definitely a sign of something really cool. You know, I guess like Newcraft is probably my closest thing, which went on a year. The first season of that, with the original Newcraft I'm talking, not the stuff on the channel now. That went a year, and then it kind of went another year, but it kind of fell apart through that second year, slowly. But it was definitely, you know, a big commitment back then. That was before Journey. It was before a lot of things. I played other games, but I may always kind of come back to Minecraft. It's always the thing that draws me back into gaming whenever I kind of take some time away. And I think namely now it's this world here that'll bring me back. But certainly have not forgotten about the thing that inspired the whole channel, which was Newcraft. It'll return one day when I'm ready to bring it back. But until then, we got Journey, which will probably go on for another few years, I'm sure. That's my general guess. Considering it took me 2 years to get to this point, it'll probably be at least another 2 years. Really close to 2 years at least, if I manage to make really good distance at general points in the year. Might be like a year and 10 months, a year and 9, or upwards of 2 or greater. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to predict because I don't really know how long the average episode is going to be, how I'm going to be able to get episodes out, or that kind of thing, like throughout the week, how that's going to turn out. So all I can really say is probably another 2 years. There was a lot of hurdles over the last 2 years, so I'm sure I can account for a little bit of that and more. Definitely going to be a very interesting time going forward, though, from here. This is kind of the end of almost the end of an era coming up here. An era for the streaming, an era for me, for the channel. But I'm not going anywhere. I'm only going closer to the Farlands. Gosh. I just saw a comment not too long ago on one of my recent Farlands episodes. It was just like Farlands. It was just over and over again. Someone just saying that, and gosh, it makes me think how many times I must have said that blasted word. I call it journey because that's kind of a better a shorter way to say it, because saying journey to the Farlands every time is can get a little bit grating for me. To try and just say that every time I'm trying to refer to the world. So I have to say the world or journey, at least at this point. But yeah, Farlands does come up a little bit, because I guess that's really the one objective in this. I know pretty much all there is to know about beta at this point, apart from the technique with building and some further technique, like the advanced building techniques people use in beta. I haven't done much of that, actually. There's a lot of really cool stuff being done. always love to look at the Golden Age. I was about to say Golden Rage, but that didn't sound right. The Golden Age subreddit, and see all the bases people upload there, because man, there's some cool stuff. It really puts my stuff to shame. But I don't know, I just do whatever I feel like doing, or whatever I feel like building at the time. And maybe at some point, I'll try and make something a little bit more revolutionary. You know, something pushing the boundaries for me a little bit. That might be cool for an outpost. Or even the future outpost is kind of challenging myself a little bit with, you know, going a little bit further away from the norm of what I like to do building wise. Because I think it's always nice to push yourself a little bit that way with like being creative. I think that's really how you improve. If you want to stay stagnant, then that's great. But I like to kind of have some, you know, I like to keep things interesting and try new things with that, with building. But that can also be applied to a lot of different things beyond just gaming. Because I often do talk about, you know, everything through this lens of Minecraft or the lens of gaming as a whole. But there's definitely some things that can be denoted further and kind of don't necessarily have to just pertain to this. But yeah, very just rambly today. But I guess that's what works for Journey. See, I said it. It's one of my favorite words in recent times. Oh man, I gotta sit down and do all those pictures. I want to do that before the 2-year anniversary, or at least around the time. I want to go through all the pictures and reminisce a little bit. I think that'd be cool. And honestly, I think this world is probably has the best shot at being my long-term world. I mean, it already is, but I mean, like, people have multi-year worlds, or even like 5, like I said before, 5-10 years, and this world definitely could be something like that. There's not, I don't really have much of a doubt in my mind about that. I know we're going into Newcraft 2. And Newcraft 2 is kind of all about being this long-term world, and it will be. But there's kind of always this duality between the two worlds. And there doesn't really have to be, but it always feels like I want to put the same amount of effort into both. You know, I want to do daily stuff for Journey, and then I want to be able to make progress in Newcraft. And I feel like that became very destructive, or self-destructive. So I've picked a Journey for now, and I'll figure out what I want from Newcraft and how I'm gonna make that a consistent effort. Really, just a lot of figuring stuff out. I think Newcraft 1 was also like that, where I was trying to figure out what I wanted out of it. I don't know if it was as big of a battle. I guess it was relatively similar. I kind of come and go with the stuff, and me and Devin even talk about it, and you know, I think it's good to step back, be able to step back, because it's not really a very popular series of mine, so I'm not really too worried about keeping it going for a viewership or anything. I don't focus on viewership anyway, but just as like a side note for it, it's like, yeah, I'm taking it easy because it's one of the kind of the lesser viewed series. Like Journey gets it kind of is all over the board for this series, and I think my most popular one right now is Better Than Adventure, which I'm very excited to keep going. I'm already 7 episodes into it, which is quite far. Although I guess I traditionally would do like longer episodes. So I guess 7 half-hour episodes is a little bit like maybe more standard to me, but or standard to like the other stuff, because it's like 3 multi-hour episodes for some series is like 1 to 3. You know, some series don't even make it past 1 episode. and I just delist them. That's kind of the luck of the draw, because some things I just don't feel right about. Guess I could go through some of my series and kind of, at least just off the top of my head, I'm not going to make a whole thing out of it. But it would be kind of neat to just explain the series and why they kind of failed, at least failed to become a proper series, and kind of never really got off the ground. I think the earliest one was the original Newcraft, which lacked a lot of consistency in episodes. I did do actually in another episode for Newcraft 3. It was the Dragon Battle. That was back when the series was live stream, and then I would just leave it as a VOD, and I wouldn't edit it at all. I like to edit the SMP stuff now. It's messy, most of the stuff. Like when it's unedited, it feels messy. If you're not going into it with the idea of it being like a stream format where you're like just chatting. Like usually I guess the episodes are about the same as the stream format, but there's like just enough of a difference that it goes a bit smoother when you kind of have like bits to them, as opposed to it just being like kind of like a free flowing episode that just kind of is all over the place for a few hours. But yeah, back then that was kind of what it was when I started the channel. I didn't really consider editing. I was like, editing. And even now I'm still kind of like that about recording and actually getting into editing properly. But it seems to work for me the way it is, so I'm not too peeved about it. Oh. But yeah, the original Newcraft, well, that was kind of the tail end of it. First thing was that even when the SMP had started, I would never have been able to have streamed it back then, unless I had Windows 10 or that kind of thing. I got the Realm on like a different platform altogether because PlayStation didn't have live streaming capabilities. I guess it did. You theoretically could, but I definitely wouldn't have been capable of doing all that back then. Because you need well, I guess it's not even. I don't even know. But I never even really looked into it, of course, and it wasn't really on my mind until Newcraft 2, back like a few years ago, or Newcraft Prime 2, or Legacy Newcraft 2. I'll just say Legacy Newcraft because that's what I call it now. But yeah, I didn't never really consider it for Newcraft 1, which it was probably for the better anyway that it wasn't streamed, because it was a very, I kind of have talked about it before, that it was a very just casual, very almost too casual for like a series. Like we were very just there was just a lot of people being very open and people got emotional and stuff in it, or, like angry. I mean, not like upset, but like people got like all sorts of stuff going in that world. So I was like, yeah, probably for the better. And then Newcraft 2 probably could have been a good jumping off point for streaming. I think that one actually might have stood a chance at being at least a series, maybe not a good one. Because I feel like no matter what, like the first few things I do or I would have done on the channel would have always been that kind of hard to work around. Like, the Twitch studio, using Twitch Studio and having things not really be very optimized and all sorts of things. It was a whole combination of things. And it was also the cast of people on the server as well, which makes me glad that Newcraft 3 also wasn't really streamed that much. There was a lot of learning that came into play. I think they kind of really struggled because of that, because I didn't really know what I was doing. You can't really see it in the episodes. I kind of seem like I know what I'm doing back then, but I really didn't. I may have felt like I was on my high horse at that time, but it wasn't true. There was a lot of cracks beneath the surface, and that would definitely come to show recently with the turn of Java into the new version of Newcraft. But that's all the kind of the side stuff anyway. So yeah, Newcraft was kind of always kind of a fighting battle, uphill battle. And it'll probably still be that way for a while. But I'm definitely gonna come back to it when when it feels most natural to me. And I'll be able to really get into it, and hopefully that's when things will really pick up for the world and maybe even the series, but guess we'll have to see about that. But yeah, after that, what was my first big thing? I guess Journey, of course. And then I did a bunch of side SMPs, which they all kind of followed suit with Newcraft, of me being generally in some point, like not really in the right space for a Minecraft world like that with other people, and it just, they all seem to crumble for various reasons. So I don't really got much else to say on the other worlds, but Journey, of course. Oh, Journey was a consistent Spitfire lightning in a bottle series. And the rest was history, really. Honestly, like I just started doing stuff on it even before I streamed it. I was streaming Newcraft at the time, but I didn't do Journey because I didn't think people would be interested in a walk to the Farlands. Many people had done it before. I wasn't really doing anything like novel. Someone's walked to the corner. People have made the attempt. But I figured, why not just do my own thing? Eventually, that kind of was what came to pass. I kind of eventually came into the idea of doing the series, and that's kind of where this all began, the series. In I think 2 months, just under 2 months into the world, I started streaming it, and then the rest was history, of course, with the hundreds of videos that I've done on it. And then after that, I think my next series would not be for a while. I think it was either Hardcore Adventures or Minecraft Through Time. I believe those were kind of in the same time frame. It was all a very long time ago, so it's difficult for me to remember. But I do believe it was all kind of in the same general span of time. I'm just looking. I was like, oh yeah, I'll go off the top of my head, but I figure I should actually look at my chronology of series just to be a bit more precise. But I do believe those were the next ones. I wouldn't do anything new for a while after Journey. I kind of got into the Journey and didn't really feel like doing anything else. But yeah, Minecraft Through Time and Hardcore Adventures, which kind of, I think they go in tandem. They're two very different things, but they both started around the same time, and they became kind of the interchangeable series, which I don't think I've done that since. I think that was last year I did them, I believe. Yeah, it would have been last year, because the year before was kind of the beginning of everything. But Minecraft Through Time was me going through the versions, which I guess is what now became Silver Age, through a bunch of long and arduous stuff. Like I did Minecraft Through Time, and it and Hardcore Adventures, they both kind of flopped. Not because of viewership or anything. It wasn't anything because of that. I don't end off a series because it gets bad viewership. That's not really how I do it. It's based on my interest, and my interest was kind of hindered because of real life getting in the way of things, and that things got rough around that time. And I was doing a lot of Journey. I wasn't even doing Journey actually at that point. I was busy with work. School was keeping me busy. Probably it was the busiest I was for a long time. Like over the whole last year, that was probably, I guess that's kind of before the year, but like a year and a few months ago, it was probably a very busy time. So I didn't really think about getting stuff going that way. So yeah, the hardcore world and the world going through InfDev to release, they both kind of got shut down. Which Hardcore Adventures didn't really come back from being cancelled, I guess, essentially. From me, I never really came back to the idea. I guess I did restart again, So I guess I wouldn't say that it completely vacated my mind. I still think about doing a hardcore world, but it just didn't work out back then. And every time since that I've reset, it just hasn't worked. And so I think I'll just need to do it when it feels most natural. And when it has the most heart, I think that's a big thing. A lot of people ask about motivation and stuff. I think heart is a big thing. And if you don't really know what I mean, just think like the reason why a lot of people tend to lose motivation and things is because it doesn't have meaning to them. I realized that a lot of the stuff I had done in the past was really lacked a lot of heart. And it lacked a lot of personality. It was just this formulation, or this formulaic thing that I came up with, and I just was going by the book. That's how a lot of the old SMPs were, and that's why I never enjoyed most of them, was because I was never really giving them much of a chance, and gave them very much heart. And I think even just going into it with the natural motivation and not forcing anything is probably one of the greater things you could do to keep something alive and going. Yeah, Silver Age is going now, which it's going well. I kind of am here and there about it. Yeah, I'm like, but I did want to start the world, regardless of what I think about it, and I still do want to play it whenever me and Devin actually get into the world. I actually do get pretty amped about it. But I think like when I'm like, when I'm doing other things, I'm like, oh, Silver Age, oh. But I eventually get into it, and I get into the right headspace about it. So I think I think Silver Age is definitely one of my favorites too. That was also one of my another good series of mine. I think it's kind of like Newcraft, but it's just me and Devin in an old Minecraft world, and it's really trying to explore the parts of old Minecraft that I really never got to experience in survival Minecraft. I was a creative mode player back then, so it was really cool being able to see it when everything was added and go through the versions, which of course we're still doing. We've only gone through one update so far, so it'll kind of go as it goes. And I think I'll be looking forward to when we move and do a new base and stuff, breaking it up a bit, so I'm able to try some new stuff that might get me a bit more in the mood. But I mean, my base already in Silver Age is pretty cool, I must say. And I'm sure even looking back on it, like after the series, it'll be pretty cool. So regardless of my kind of reservations, sometimes it's a lot of fun. And same thing went for Newcraft. I kind of have my reservations about a lot of the old stuff, but when I think about like the honest efforts I put in, it all works pretty well in the end. But yeah, that's kind of that part. A little bit of my thoughts on those series, and then it kind of gets a little bit jumbled because I've since changed the order of playlists, but I'll kind of just go through them. Video game spotlights, which I think started quite a while ago. I don't know if this is kind of chronological, but it was around the time Minecraft Legends came out, around April of 2023. I started a brand new series, which is still ongoing now, even though the last episode was from December of last year. It's kind of it's a stranger series. It's just one that I upload various games. I just do like a stream on a game, and then I upload it into that playlist. Since I don't really do other games, I mainly just do Minecraft these days. But I used to entertain the idea that would kind of be like the trial runs of potential series. And one of them did get greenlit, which was Stardew, which was a lot of fun, but it just kind of drifted off too because I got busy. I think a lot of the stuff was like that, and when I don't have the time, I kind of don't think about it, and then when I forget about it, I don't want to go back into it. It's that whole thing of like just not being in the same space as where I was before. I think that's what's going on with Newcraft. But I'm going to go back into it anyway and just have a bunch of fun either way. But yeah, Stardew kind of ended abruptly because of that. A lot of the old stuff did. That's really quite true. What's next? Java. I guess Java is its own thing. It suffered from a lot of similar problems to the other SMPs of kind of, it had a member base, but it kind of eventually drifted into a few people, which is what happens in every world of ours, really. Is we start with like a solid group of like up like half a dozen or so people, and then it kind of shrinks down into like 2 or 3 people eventually. Because in Newcraft 2, for example, it was a bunch of us at the start. Like everyone was online the first day, and then now it's like Connor and Devin. And I think Cherry recently went back online, which is cool. I'll have to chat with Cherry at some point. I want to do the collab episode in Journey before the anniversary, or for the anniversary. That'd be cool. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, we kind of started with a group, and then it shriveled down, and then eventually season 1 ended. We ended it off because we just weren't feeling right about it. Then we did a season 2, and then that was even less memorable. Although that was Cherry's first SMP, and then Cherry would kind of do a lot in Newcraft, and me and Cherry would have a lot of fun. And I mean everybody, we all had a lot of fun on Newcraft. But yeah, Java was kind of, season 1 was more memorable than season 2 for Java, but not very much to say on it. It's kind of similar to the old Newcraft, where there was just some issues that had arisen that we couldn't really deal with at the time. Some people were very excited, and then people just kind of dropped out, and other people were just like, oh, well, I see, kind of. But yeah. What would be next? I guess old school Minecraft. Was that a while back? Yeah, that was November. I'm kind of going all over the board, but old school Minecraft was another popular series that me and Devin started out. That was kind of like a precursor to Silver Age, I guess, in a sense, because me and Devin wanted to do a series like an old Minecraft series together for a long time. And that was one of our attempts, and I mean that probably performed the best out of anything at the time for my channel. But I kept uploading episodes, and it just shot down. Like the viewership was just down, and that wasn't really what ended up stopping me in the end. It was really just, I think me and Devin just missed a few weeks because we had like a time slot. And then we just missed a few weeks, and then by the time that we got back to thinking about it, we were just kind of like, eh. And that one had like a soft reboot a while later, where we went to a new area and tried to build up a new base. And that was only like about 2 episodes we did. When even was that? That was March of this year. That was quite a few months later. Still, like under half a year later, we restarted our series, kind of, and started a new base. And that was kind of going to be like the beginning of a new era for that series, and then it just never happened. It just kind of flopped and never recovered. So yeah, that was old school Minecraft. Silver Age is kind of a bit better. Me and Devin are a little bit better on that now. Silver Age is at least 5 episodes in. I have 2, like another one to get out for next week, and then one for the week after. So 4 and 5. So that's cool. My Sims 2 series just ended because I finished the round in the neighborhood. In Sims 2, I play rotationally, where you play each family in a neighborhood until you run out of families, then you just restart. And then you just keep going, because in the modern Sims games, families or everyone ages simultaneously, or just the family you play. But stuff still goes on around you sometimes with like story progression. But in The Sims 2, that doesn't really happen at all. Like everything's stagnant. Like even if you get a Sim pregnant, The family, like, they don't give birth or anything if you play a different family. I know that happens in The Sims 4, but in The Sims 2 it's just completely stagnant. So it works really well for playing everything rotationally and kind of it's like a soap opera, but basically I did actually go back to Pleasant View. And by the time I made it back into it, I just realized it probably wasn't the best series because it was a cool format and it's a game I really like. It's one of my favorites. It's up there. It might even honestly at times it contests Minecraft or other games. But really it's one of my favorites, but I just play it way too inconsistently for it to be a series. I'd have to play it a lot more to make it a series. And I was planning on doing that, but I finished the round and I was just like, meh, I'll just move on to other stuff. I just wasn't feeling it. And yeah, that one was only the first round. It was kind of a pilot. The whole first round was a bit of a pilot for the series, even though it was 5 episodes. But yeah, I've since continued playing it, and yeah, I don't really plan on continuing the series beyond the 5 episodes, of course. And then there's the new craft, which has been a lot of fun. We kind of abruptly ended season 1 under reasons of wanting to do a world kind of permanently, and we thought that Newcraft 1 really, like the old world that we had from December of last year, was kind of equipped to be a 1-year-long world. And we were just like, well, we're not going to be able to get this stuff done in a year. We want more freedom. And we just started a brand new world, basically, after discussing amongst ourselves. Which luckily we did actually discuss as a group. Whereas before in the old servers, it would just kind of be me and Devin, or me, Devin, and like 1 or 2 others. So I think we improved a lot in talking about things and making sure everyone's on the same page. So even like regardless of where the server is at, we all kind of still discuss things. We haven't really talked about the server in a while, of course, but you know, historically we've always been pretty good about that now with the new server. Just kind of with whoever's active at the time. But yeah, it's been pretty good. Pretty good stuff. What's next? There are a few one-offs. These are the ones I said never made it past number 1. Vault Hunters. Yeah, I did actually play Skyblock, but it just never worked. Never really. I think I did 1 stream before I went for my trip this year. That was, I think, this year. But it just never took off after that. By the time I got back, I was on a different page altogether. And then me and Devin did, I think was this after? This was still February. This was before old school Minecraft came back. Yeah, we were definitely very like wanting to do a collaborative thing. Yeah, Super Flat Survival had 1 episode and then we kind of didn't feel like returning to it. That one could have been cool. That was kind of a going through the versions thing, but for a super flat world. Basically like how Mog Swamp had done it. We wanted to just get the best of all, or best of all the versions that you can go through for Minecraft. Super flat worlds are kind of weird that way, where you get certain things at certain times and you can only do X thing and all that. So we started at like a specific version. I don't remember exactly, but it was kind of loosely supposed to be like a through time kind of thing. But like I said, never really made it off the ground. That one just had its pilot and then we kind of never returned to it. Better Beta made it 2 episodes, which that was actually a mod pack that emulated old Minecraft. And I was kind of just like, well, why don't we just play old Minecraft instead of emulate old Minecraft? And I kind of just didn't really. It was kind of strange because I mean, I guess it really showed me how much I enjoyed looting structures and stuff like woodland mansions and things. But I was just like, I didn't really feel very enthralled to return to it after its second episode. Devin really was motivated to, but Devin's motivated to return to anything we do. I'm the kind of the stickler, the one that finds the most trouble coming back. And it's not really anything I really do. I think it's difficult for me to get motivated into stuff and stick to it. So Journey's the real testament here, and then I guess Newcraft as well, a little bit more loosely. What else do I have? Lethal Company was kind of a shorter one. I might continue it at some point, but the crew we haven't really played Lethal Company in quite some time. I know there's been some new updates and stuff either being announced or coming out, but maybe eventually me and Devin will return to it with some people. But I think for now, that'll be on the back burner. And Infinity Evolved. Well, that was fun. Did 2 streams and then it kind of fell by the wayside with Silver Age. I ended up enjoying Silver Age more than Infinity Evolved or Feed the Beast. And so that series kind of hit the wayside as well. Just because I started that one, and then me and Devin started Silver Age soon after that. And then Silver Age ended up becoming an edited series, and I was like, oh no. Place. And it was for a little bit. But yeah, it was quite a time getting to where it is now with Silver Age and Better Than Adventure. But yeah, I'm very excited for what Better Than Adventure has to offer. I'm going to do some bulk streaming of it pretty soon, going into next week. And then Silver Age, I'm going to get some episodes out. I missed a few weeks for Silver Age, but me and Devin have still been doing stuff in the background. I just haven't really felt like editing, but I might edit those and get them out pretty soon. I'm hoping. That's a lot of fun. It's one of the more quieter series as well, so I'm just kind of being a little experimental, trying to figure out what kind of schedule I want to do for it. I think I'll do maybe once every 2 weeks. That's what I was thinking of doing. Just because it's less popular. Maybe if it became more popular, I'll do it like once a week. But Better Than Adventure, I do twice a week. And then Journey, I just try to do whatever day I feel like doing it. Whatever day I'm not hanging out with friends or working too hard. Or when I'm not overly distracted, I guess is another big one too. Distraction. Oh, that's the big one. Distraction takes away from a lot of things, namely Journey. That's the big thing that I've talked about for a long time, is being distracted by other games and things. But it's all right. I'll always keep coming back until I see this thing through. And then from the end, I can kind of take it a bit more loosely. But I'm gonna I'm just relying off of my enjoyment of the world for now. I don't force it. Just like, it'd be a good idea to do a Journey stream tonight. That's really how most days go. It's like, yep, let's keep up tradition. I want to do this. And really, what is stopping me from continuing, or from not doing episodes? There's not really any reason not to, because they're pretty darn easy to do. And it makes you feel good to get some progress in the world. Get something done. But yeah. Lots of retrospective today. I like doing the retrospectives though. I can kind of think back on some of my earlier things that didn't quite make it out to be the at least a series that goes on for more than a few episodes, which most of them haven't really. And the ones that had historically were kind of combinations of various worlds and things. Kind of a Frankenstein series where you kind of watch a few episodes and then you're just thrust into a brand new world every few episodes, which is a little bit chaotic. I'd much rather do something where I'm in a world, pretty much the whole series. Or at least the spirit continues into another world, you know, it kind of sees things through a little bit. Like New Legacy or the new Craft, it had a proper ending. You know, I kind of gave a world tour and showed off everything everyone had done, and I had a few conversations and things in the episode, and it was nice. But it's a lot different when the worlds don't really get to be like that, where it's kind of just me explaining in the first episode what happened, why the thing ended before. I think it's much better to do like 10, 15 episodes first. At least that's like the point where I'm like, okay, this is like an actual thing. Because even at like 7 or 8 episodes, like Better Than Adventure is at, it hasn't quite hit that point. Like Newcraft is a solidified series for me because it's almost 25 episodes already. You know, it's beyond that threshold. Old school Minecraft was, I think, 5 or 6 or 7. So I think that's kind of the point where most stuff tends to die off, is around the first few. Like the first one, for sure, a lot of ones don't really make it. A few episodes for some. And for some, it's even like 5, maybe even 7, 8. But once you kind of get beyond that, you kind of start getting into the actual rhythm of things. And that's when things start to become a little bit more natural. You kind of, at least for me, it feels like I need to not necessarily force it, but I need to kind of discipline myself for a while until it becomes a bit more of a natural interest. And I had the interest in the beginning of Newcraft too. It just kind of fizzled out with Journey, really. They both fight each other for the attention. I wonder if that's what the battle for attention I was talking about in one of the very early episodes of Journey, or like a while ago. I don't know if it was an early one, but sure seems like it to me now. Oh, but I guess I'm reaching the end of the hour, so I should probably go and do some no commentary for a bit. I was trying to think of something else I might want to do because I was playing Subnautica a lot today. I was trying to think of something else I might want to do. But I guess I can edit Silver Age at some point as well. But I'll do this for a little while, get some good progress made. And then maybe get that Silver Age going. I'm thinking maybe Sunday would be a good day for Silver Age, or Saturday. Well, Saturday is Better Than Adventure on some days. Like, it's kind of a weird, like I have like an alternating schedule for Better Than Adventure. Wednesday seems to be pretty good. I might just stick to the Wednesday. That might be a good idea. But yeah, consistency is key, and that's what I'm trying to figure out for Silver Age. Better Than Adventure, I got that down now, so hopefully that should do fairly okay. But I'm gonna mute the old mic. Actually, I gotta restart my game anyway, so I'm gonna restart my game. Maybe have a quick bite to eat, and I'll come back later with some no commentary. Hey, yeah, it has been a while. This gives me a reason to unmute my mic for a bit. How have you been? Oh, I've been good. Just going on, walking on by and doing whatever. Sheepy. Oh yeah, I don't have a bow. I gotta craft a new one. Lost it the other episode. Go. Actually, one more for the road. Thought that boat was bound to fall. There we go. Guess not. Very laggy for me. Oh, that's too bad. Could just be my internet though. Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, hopefully my stream isn't being annoying. That would be very good. I'll just keep swimming. I had to do 2 tests this week. I have to finish 1 next week, and I missed 2 days. Wow, that's pretty intense. But I'm not looking forward to going back to school. Well, kind of am and I'm not. It'll be different, but it'll be a whole lot more trouble navigating. But I feel yeah, with all the tests and stuff, I've been there before. Oh, fallen cows. Fallen cow syndrome strikes again. Oh yeah, yes, it is the weekend. Oh, cool. Wait, get a screenshot of that as it comes closer into view. Maybe beyond the tree line here. There we go. Usually I'd be kind of like, well, usually I'd be a lot more cognizant of the weekend, but my weekend's cut short because I'm working tomorrow. So it's not so much a weekend. It is the traditional one, it would be. I'm also leaving in a bit. We're going to Bunnings. Cool. I definitely know what Bunnings is. Sounds cool anyway. I don't really have a job, I do sell bracelets though. Oh, neat. Yeah, I've been working for a good while now. Good few years. On and off with different jobs. The popular hardware store. It's a popular hardware store, Bunnings. Oh, interesting. It's always funny when people tell me about like shops and stuff that they go to. They're like, oh, I'm just going to this place. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Like, it's a shop, or it's a convenience store, a gas station. And they're like, oh, that's cool. These are all this stuff that's like commonplace where you folks are. And it's just like, well, I have no idea. I guess I have my things. Everyone else is theirs, depending on where they are. It's kind of cool. It's expected, but it is cool. Expected that things would be different, but gosh, noisy cows trying to get in on the conversation. A neat little feature there. I'll have to go towards it. It looks like a little donut. Oh, quite a bit. They do sausage sizzles every now and then. Oh. Yeah, there's a place where I live that does that too. Not sausages, but they do have like barbecue every once in a while. It's just like a store. It has they have like a stand in the summer. Not this exact same, but oh, probably about as close as I can think to that. This is something that's happened with me. Oh, yeah, that's so cool. I love that. That overhang. Oh, every time I pass by these, you just gotta walk through. Or the sand. I always, like, if I see floating sand or gravel, I always have to punch it so it falls. Although this already seems to have done that. I think the cows have anger issues. Yeah, yeah. They seem to be pretty angry. I don't know what I said to them to make them so angry, but they clearly want to get in on the conversation, and I'm not really looking for any input from them. They just go, and it's not helpful. Doesn't progress the point at in any way. A nice little high spot. I didn't realize how high this hill was. Wow, quite the rise up. Usually, I guess the high points are like 10, 20 blocks higher than that, but I didn't quite realize how high up I was there. All right, keep going. All my progress. Well, 13K today so far, so that's pretty good. 13,000 blocks. Don't know what my outright gotta go for progress. I'll just go until I feel like I need to get off to bed. Or if I think of something better or something different to do. Would say something better, but Journey's pretty good. Oh, it's time to place the bed. Right, back to the top. Or up top. I don't want to say back to it. I've never been here before. It's like second nature. Déjà vu. That's a funny word. All the accents and stuff. A very interesting word. There's not many words like that. At least that I use very often that have like all sorts of accents and stuff like that. Because it's not really a traditional English word. It's just stuff we say that comes from other places sometimes. But I think déjà vu is, I think, French. Because I know jamais vu, which is the opposite of déjà vu. Because déjà vu is like something you've felt like you've experienced, and jamais vu is like something you felt you've never experienced. So it's just novelty, I guess. I think that's how it operates. Sheepies often frolicking over there. What are you eating? I couldn't guess. There's so many foods out there. So much food. I'm just really in a zooming mood. About not really much to see though. Just flatlands as far as the eye can see. I'd assume not sausages. It's a joke, of course. But yeah, I don't really know. I'd be guessing for forever. If you want me to do that, I can, but it'll probably take me a while. Oh, batteries, interesting. Right, I forgot. I think the time you came, but you showed up before. You talked about batteries at that time as well. Interesting. Asking me if I think if I knew what batteries tasted like or something. Or if I liked batteries or something along those lines. It was a good while ago at least. I don't really remember, but I remember that. For that much. Right. I didn't realize they were such a fine cuisine. uh, only joking. That's more than enough wool. You can never have too much, so I'll always run out. That was pretty quick too if I'm not paying attention, if I get too lost in conversation. If I get hooked long enough. Alright, see ya. Nice chatting with you. Back to the no commentary realm. Alrighty. Well, I think that's gonna be where I wrap things up for today. Did an extra day by accident, but I guess it kind of counterbalances my little break I took at the end of the first commentary there. So all is well in the end. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next one. All right, goodbye.